Yeah.
Welcome to Open Circuit Podcast. I'm Kalipso.
And I'm Mike.
Yeah. So we're going to get started today. I was about to say tonight.
This is our, we just messed around. It's January 1st, 2025.
Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year. This is our very first video recording of our podcast. We're just trying to get this started. It's like ironing out all the kinks and...
Yes. And while we're chilling here with the podcast, we got the Texas versus Arizona State game going on. Mike's a Longhorns fan.
No, I don't care about either one of these teams. I'm just going for the underdog. Yeah, so that's why I'm a little bit sidetracked. I think that's your phone.
So, Mike, it's New Year's, man.
What do you have for as far as New Year's resolution going?
Well, you know, we've been talking about this podcast thing for a while. Not too long, but we've been talking about it for a while. And I think this is where we start, man. So that's a big part of my New Year's resolution is trying to get in this podcast game and really learn it. You know, so the ins and outs of it. And
I think the biggest challenge is going to be the technology because neither one of us are like super technology savvy as far as that goes. But I think this is pretty simple. This thing is pretty simple. I don't know as far as how it goes with the computers and the editing and all that stuff, but I think this thing is pretty simple, which is right up our alley.
You know, and that's what I've noticed that, you know, sometimes if you get too wild trying to buy a whole bunch of equipment and stuff like that, you end up finding out at the end that all I really needed was just this and this. And so I think that we're doing fine right here, and that's why I brought the tech guy over here.
Oh, he's the tech guy.
Yeah, we got the tech guy.
We got Steve Jobs over on the your right.
Not that type.
I don't know.
He ain't got there yet.
I don't know if he's in the frame or not, but he's referring to his son Gabriel.
Yes. Young man now.
Wow, this turned out to be a pretty good football game. Texas was dragging him up and down the field the entire time, and in the last 7 minutes of the football game, Arizona scored 2 touchdowns and 2 2-point conversions to tie the game. That's pretty impressive.
Yes, that is.
Because I thought they were dead in the water. I thought they were done. They were getting drubbed.
So, man, yesterday I shot you that song.
Yeah, Tranquility. What?
That was pretty dope.
Normally it's me sleeping on new artists. Normally I'm the one that has a tough learning curve to having a new ear for newer music, and you're like, I don't really listen to Jack Harlow. I'm like, what? He's one of the new artists that him and Mexican OT.
It's very hard, it's never nothing like on some racism stuff, but I try to watch out for people that I think, because he doesn't really give off a hip hop vibe.
Oh, I just never Jack Harlow.
I didn't see it at first, so I was like, I'm always kind of like, man, I gotta watch out for all these what do they call them, culture vultures, and people who are just trying to be in the culture, but they just start rapping. Like a lot of people thought Post Malone was a culture vulture, but then I started to realize that some people are just themselves.
I thought that Post Malone was like, I thought he had the same skin color as you, bro. I'm not trying to be funny
but
or nothing.
A lot of people thought he was a culture vulture. They thought
no. What I'm saying though is I thought he was half black. I didn't realize that he was white. And then Charlemagne the God and all them were try to attack him, and him being like,
well, Charlemagne, I don't want to get on him. I watched their show.
No, I want to get on his head. I hope one day he hears it, because that dude, I'm not a fan.
And my thing is that I know that a lot of stuff after when I'm kind of thinking about the things that we're doing right now, I know that a lot of it is all about clout, and so I don't know where stuff really, if after the show him and Post Malone are like clapping and drinking drinks, we're finna go up on this.
You think it was like a wrestling saga, like where they were pretending, is what you're saying? They were just pretending for views. Never know. Is what you're saying? I don't think so.
Well, see, this is the thing.
I think Charlamagne's a troll, bro.
I never know where the show's really, like, where it cuts off, like the WWF side of it. Because, like, for instance, when, you know, we were talking about how, like, Baby from Cash Money came in the freaking radio station and then starts checking everybody up in there. I'm like, why would you guys even allow him to come in the in the radio station and check?
Who is he
the
checking?
Host? He was checking all of them. He was like, all three of y'all better put some respect on my name. You know? And hey,
you sound like a
baby,
pretty
if
good...
you're watching, I got respect for you, man. I see what you've done in the music industry, and they can't take that away from you, brother.
You have a pretty good southern accent there. I like that one.
All three of y'all.
That was straight from the Kalipso projects. It sounded like...
No, I think it's Uptown.
Oh yeah, that's Master P's from the Kalipso projects. Yeah, we were just in New Orleans a couple, like about a month and a half ago.
That.
Yeah, we were just there. You know, our thoughts and prayers go out to all the victims of this horrendous attack that happened right after, like at 3 a.m. in the morning. So it would have been about midnight our time, you know, when I was leaving the house, is when all that stuff would have happened.
Dude, I was just thinking,
it's horrible.
You know, New Orleans is like this. It's like a tourist attraction. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So it's like, I always like, you know, think like how many of these type of things are really going on in all types of places, but they don't really like mention it.
What how many terrorist attacks happen in other places, but they don't talk about it
on the daily? Like how many people are getting gunned down by the police, or how many robberies are happening, or how many murders. I wonder all this time because you get the statistics and you're like, well, damn, that's going on here in America.
I'm sorry, I'm a little bit distracted, but they say that more they say more white people, mentally ill white people, die by gun violence from the cops than anything else.
Oh, I bet.
So it's like a 40-year-old dude that lives with his mom. He's like, and he has a knife. You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to be funny, but it's the reality. It's just they play this. I don't even really want to get into it. But they just try to pin us against each other. And there needs to be a lot more love in the world as opposed to hate. And trust me, I'm not very good at not being angry. Texas is about to kick a field goal with 1:44 left. The game is tied at 24, so I'm a little bit invested. I'm sorry for being distracted. And he missed it wide right.
Oh.
Yeah, we need to try to do this. I want to do it. I want to try to piggyback off of Joe Rogan and do like a fight companion. I think that would be dope.
Oh, that would be dope. Did you just see your favorite wrestler, Batista?
I know he's not my favorite wrestler. No. Yeah, right. Yeah, you love Batista. You and him had Joe Biden underwears on. No, I do not like Batista at all.
Well, I just saw how much he lost a lot of weight. Like he was huge.
He quit doing steroids. That's why, bro.
He said he was working on his cardio, but he came out.
He's getting old. He quit doing steroids. Are you kidding me?
He's been old, I think, since he started.
Oh no, he is actually one of the more successful wrestlers that's transitioned into acting. He's been super successful. But he was like on this train to
I think we should get him on this show one time. Batista, if you're out there, we'd like to get you on Open Circuit.
Yeah, no, we wouldn't. If we could get you to Ely, Ely or McGill, that would be awesome.
We would love that. Jason Momoa, we got Jason Momoa down here in McGill one time, so we gonna get you down here.
Batista. Not on our podcast though. So Marcus is just making stuff up now.
Wait, hold up. I'm the first person to bring Jason Momoa to Ely, Nevada.
Oh, you brought him here?
I brought him to Ely,
Did you
Nevada.
Drive the car or what?
No.
Happen?
Listen, I made a phone call. I made a phone call and had Jason Momoa come down here. You know what I mean?
Oh.
And
that's right. We
put it out on the internet, and and all the ladies rushed down there. I think it's a Mary's Cafe. They were all
Marie's Cafe down here in McGill. No, I remember now. I remember you got a hold of his agents and they shot a scene of Aquaman at Cave Lake. Now it's all coming back to me.
Yeah, I'm lying. I was on my Soulja Boy. I'm the first one. I was on my Soulja Boy stuff.
You know that. I think Gabe was right about the microphones. Turn it up a little bit so I don't got to be right on top of it. Anyways, what was I getting at, bro? I just lost my train of thought.
I know I said something about Soulja Boy, so.
Oh, those microphones, those little miniature microphones that you have. You know, that would be really dope to get those. I don't know. Can you sync them up to the phones? Those microphones?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's
especially when you was talking about going outside, being just wherever, you know.
You know how I'm like always meeting people.
Yeah,
like we get those microphones and go and ask people questions. You know, like kind of like how they do on the YouTube channels. Because I've met a lot of people. You know, a lot of celebrities, the fighters, bodybuilders.
You have.
Let's see.
That would be cool because I know you've kind of built a little something with. I'm gonna say he's one of the best UFC fighters there is, if not the best. But I'm not gonna say his name because you know who I'm talking about.
Who are you talking about?
Oh, he's a tall black man.
Oh, he's the baddest man ever. Is that who you're talking about?
Hey, he breaks bones, and that's a rhyme.
Yeah,
but I'm just gonna go there.
He's undefeated. I mean, his record says he has one blemish, but he's undefeated. The only thing is he had a 12-6 elbows against Matt Hamill, and he got disqualified. But that's the only blemish on his record. But we all know he's undefeated. They're talking about him and Tom Aspinall. You know this. I think, dude. I don't want to misspeak. He's bad. He's a wrestler. Oh, yeah. He's quick. I don't know if he's English. You look that up, Gabriel. See if Tom Aspinall is English or Irish. I think he's English, but I don't want to misspeak. English.
Okay.
Thank you. They. So everyone's pretending like John Jones.
Yeah.
Is afraid. There a lot of people are talking. There's whispers of John Jones.
There you go.
Did it? Yeah, my bad. I'm sorry.
We'll bleep it out.
Does it sound like I'm like is it are you losing it in the No. Oh, my bad. Yeah, cuz it seems like there's like a little bit of a miss. All right, maybe that's a little bit better. There's just whispers that say that John Jones is afraid to fight Tom Aspinall and coming from Dana White. Dana White says that John Jones is afraid of no man. He said he has something evil in him that's just different than anybody he's ever seen. And you remember, man, we've been friends for a long time, right?
Yeah.
Maybe going on 20 years, something like that, somewhere around there. We used to watch.
Are you about to talk about that one moment? I'm like,
no, man, we've been watching fights for a long time.
Yes, we have.
My brother, shout out to my brother Casey. We used to go over to his house. We pay he make us pitch in $5-10, and we'd all pitch
what up,
in.
Casey?
And we go over and watch Anderson Silva. Anderson Silva was the GOAT for a long time.
Yes, he was.
I mean, he's in my top 5. He used to play with people. He moved up in weight class, moved down. He used to play with people, remember?
Yeah. I mean, he still does. I mean, the way he played in that fight with in that boxing match that he lost in.
Who did he fight? Oh, Jake Paul.
I mean, no, I shouldn't say he played. Jake, don't come after me.
It's just different. Oh yeah, Jake, come
Jake,
after me.
Don't come after me.
Come after me, Jake. I remember we watched Roy Jones Jr. versus Michael Tyson. You know, Mike Tyson. Yeah, Mike Tyson.
Yes.
Sorry, I have a stuttering problem. And Jake Paul was fighting Nate Robinson, and Jake Paul knocked Nate Robinson out. And Nate Robinson was an athlete, bro. That dude, he had springs. Nate Robinson is he's a Washington guy, actually. He's from Washington. He went to he was a Husky. Nate Robinson could jump out the gym, bro. He knocked him out, man. And I'm like, Jake Paul's a fraud. Because there was this dude over here. I don't really want to say his name. I'm not a big fan, but there was a dude over here, and he was talking about, oh, he's a YouTuber, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, Jake Paul, bro, this guy is a clown. Come to find out, Jake Paul.
Don't come after me, Jake.
Jake Paul. I know I said it, but he actually, bro, he's got some skills.
Yeah.
The dude hits hard.
Yes,
he hits hard, and he's worked on his boxing crap. Now, he's not gonna box a top 10 boxer because he knows what will happen. He's going to fight an old MMA head that's a wrestler most of the time. He's not going to fight. He's going to fight a 60-year-old Mike Tyson. I wish he would have seen an 18-year-old Mike Tyson. He couldn't even have held Mike Tyson's jockstrap, bro. Teddy, well, I don't know how far you like. I know you love boxing. I
love boxing, man. And I'm going to say this about the dude. He seems to everything that they say he can't do, he seems to do. And don't get me wrong, I know we're looking for these other fighters, but he pulls the guys that, but he brings them there, and people say, nah, you ain't gonna be able to beat him. Nah, there's no way you're gonna beat
Do you like him, Gabriel? No, you know what it is? It's almost like a spectacle, like professional wrestling, bro. He's turned himself into the heel. I should never say that, but he's turned himself into the perennial bad guy that everybody wants to see lose. So people are going to pay the money to see the pay-per-views to see him lose. But
that's what I'm getting at. I've already realized. That's why when he says, I don't like him, I'm like, you don't like because that's what he's designed. He's designed you not to like me. I don't want you to like me. So now you go put the money bets out there and you say, he's going to lose. He's going to lose. And then he wins. And so my thing about him, and when I see him hit, he hits. He's not hitting. He's not swinging soft. So, I mean, I don't know about his movement, if his feet work or any better than I heard Gervonta, was saying that he wanted.
Gervonta Davis?
Yes, he said.
Oh, Gervonta Davis is a little guy, bro. He's only about 35.
That's what I'm thinking. But but he's fast. He's fast, and he's quick on the pullback.
He's too small.
I think about that too. You know what I mean?
Jake Paul walks around at he fights at 200, don't he? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Gervonta Davis is 140. That's Gervonta Davis is way too small, bro. He can't punch hard enough. But if you got Canelo, I think Canelo is a 170. Canelo whoop that ass.
Hey, who was that guy? He was from India. And he was
Prince Naseem Hamed.
Not that one. No. Hey, come on, man. I don't want to see that fight either. I don't want him to come back. But no, it's a new guy who's from India right now.
Have you heard of that? I do not know who you're talking about.
He's got curly hair. He says, I want to fight Jake Paul next.
Have you heard about the Monster?
Yeah, of course. He was like Mike Tyson, but he was is that the one you're talking about?
What nationality is he?
Is he African?
No.
No, okay, dang.
Japanese. Okay. He's $135. His name is the Monster. Pull up some highlights of him.
Now I gotta see. Let me take a look.
Yeah, this dude is $135. His dad was a boxer, and then
I'm gonna try to pronounce that.
An old boxing head. A friend of mine, Tony Crapo, Sam's dad.
Okay.
I've been friends with him for about Anyways, yeah, I said just pull up the videos, not put in his highlights, and show your dad. This dude,
but
but anyways,
pull that up on the screen during some.
This dude, but anyways, Tony has been a boxing head from way back. So he's the one that told me about him, and we always shared a love for boxing when I was a kid. You know, before MMA was just coming around, and it was still really rough around the edges. We used to get the DVDs from Sammy's Video down there. You know what I'm talking about? What's on the corner there? Oh, do you know where? What's the coffee shop? Taproot?
Taproot.
Right next to that used to be Sammy's Video. Used to be a video store. Do you remember? So back in the day when we first moved here in like '96, we used to go. It was another video store too, but we used to go get the early UFCs. We used to rent the early UFCs on VHS there, and I'm like, because back then it was like fish hooking and eye gouges and punches in the balls. You're like, what the?
And fights after fights, the guys had to go back in there and fight again.
Yeah, they fought several times in one night. That's right. Yeah. So,
that's the
will you hand me that bottle right there, Gabriel? Is that yours? No, right? Do you need a water? If you guys need a water, they're right out here in the sunroom, bro. Go ahead.
Real question.
You just gotta
was
unlock
Dana
it.
White even around then?
No.
Okay. I didn't
So let me dump this water out real quick. I'll be right back.
2 hours later.
What did you asked me?
about the monster. We was talking about the monster.
Oh yeah, that, and then you followed up with Dana White. So what happened was, this is how the story goes, straight from the horse's mouth. Dana White went to Bishop Gorman in Vegas. You know, the private school.
Yeah, my buddy Tim, he had a girlfriend over there at Bishop Gorman. She was a nice looking Filipina, and he used to pick her up after school and stuff like that.
She's probably a little bit more fortunate than we were growing up. So we know we couldn't even spell.
She was, and she had a pretty good family, but she was gangster.
Yeah, one of them rich kids. I know some of them.
Gangsters.
I know some of them. I know some of them. I'm not gonna say any names, but I'm telling you though, this dude I'm talking about, he was a rich kid, but this kid was down. He's about our age, a little bit older than us. Anyways, Dana White, he went to Bishop Gorman, and he had this friend that would go out of his way every day to come and pick him up. This kid was a really fortunate kid. He'd go out of his way every single day to pick Dana White up, and then he would take him to school. And fast forward a couple years later, and this dude was getting married. Dana White said, "You couldn't pay me to go to a wedding." He said, "You couldn't pay me to go to a wedding," but there was no way in hell that he was going to miss this dude's wedding because he always went out of his way for him, right? So he goes to the wedding, and the Fertitta brothers are there. And the Fertitta brothers went to Bishop Gorman. Fertitta brothers went to Bishop Gorman with Dana White, and they linked up with them, and then they started doing jiu-jitsu together. And Dana White was actually about to sign with another promotion, to be the head of it, like how he was with the UFC. And I don't know if it was Dana or the Fertitta brothers, but they got a call to buy the UFC for $1 million, and basically all it was two shitty octagons, and the 3 letters. And they invested, so they ended up buying it and asking Dana White to be the head of it, and they ended up investing $40 million into it. And they were on their last leg, dude. They're about to call her quits, and then they did the Ultimate Fighter, and I think they paid Spike, or Spike didn't pay them anything for it. They just put it on. and then it renewed. And how many? It's like 35, 40. It's like 35 seasons now. And I remember the finale, bro. Stephen Bonner and Forrest Griffin. And
I remember Forrest Griffin was on there. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually met Forrest at Randy Couture's gym in Vegas a long time ago. Rough Valley View.
What up, Forrest? We gotta get you on the show too.
Yeah, he wasn't super polite. He was a cop from Georgia. You could tell.
It's all good. Forrest, we gotta get you on the show.
I met Dan Severin at the Olympia in 22.
Dang, that's old school right there.
Yeah,
That's old school.
you know,
those were the good days, man. I'm
you
pretty
know, I
sure.
wasn't a huge fan of Dan Severin because he's like a lay and pray type of fighter. He would wrestle you down and then hold you down and beat the shit out of you for a long time, and it wasn't the most exciting style to watch.
Well, I mean, most of these guys, when UFC first started, weren't exactly mixed martial artists. You had fighters from all different types of, you had a wrestler, you had a karate guy coming up in there in a karate outfit and stuff like that, facing a boxer, and
they only
fights like that.
They only had one discipline. We have a mutual love for Bruce Lee, right?
Yes.
And Bruce Lee said, like in 1968, if you had a wrestler with 1 year of boxing experience and he was a good, legit wrestler, he could whoop anybody. So Bruce Lee knew back then, like he brought martial arts to America, but he knew way back then, bro. He knew that you could just be a wrestler and have some stand up and be like top tier mixed martial artist.
I'm trying to think of, was it Rashad? Rashad Evans.
What about him?
Wasn't he just a wrestler and then he got a little bit of stand-up game and then just became the champ?
Yeah.
I mean, that's somewhat in the story. I'm sure he had some stuff he was doing in it.
Ultimate Fighter 2. He was a small dude, but they were having a heavyweight season. So him, a 205er, fought at heavyweight and won the whole show. I actually watched a podcast with CT Fletcher. Shout out to CT.
I'm trying to think about. I was going through my mind because I thought you were about to talk about the show, and I was thinking about when Rampage punched the door. Wow, there's about to be some black on black crime.
That was when they coached the Ultimate Fighter. I'm talking about when he got in the UFC. He was an undersized dude, but they were actually questioning whether to bring him on or not because he was so small, and he ended up winning the whole thing. That just goes. It's a testament to how good he was at wrestling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and he could punch too.
If you're listening right now, Rashad, we need to get you on the show.
So, anyways, then they end up purchasing the UFC, and it goes to Spike, and then that finale really blew the whole thing up, man.
Yes, it did.
It's kind of over the years, I kind of talked to you about it a little bit. Mixed martial arts has evolved so much that everybody has so many disciplines that it's almost an equalizer to where you get a lot of draws and a lot of boring fights because these guys are so good and they're so even. And it kind of, at times it drives me crazy because I'm a big fan of stand-up. I'm sure you know that.
Yeah.
Marcus actually, I've always had a love for fighting. I boxed back in the day in 2001, 2002, something like that. Just 4 fights, but with no formal training, I went 3-1. I was just a meathead trying to punch people hard in the face,
Yeah.
And I got really humbled when I went to this big tournament in Missoula, Montana. Wow. I fought in front of 3,000 people, and I got whooped. Yeah, there ain't no ands, ifs, or buts about it. I fought a guy with a lot of formal training, and he
shout outs to Montana. Shout outs to Montana.
What I was getting at was Marcus hit me up one day. Kalipso hit me up one day and said, there's a dude doing Muay Thai and he's legit. And I'm always skeptical. I'm always really skeptical of people. I'm a tough critic. And we went to the backyard Ray, John Ray Aquino. We went to his backyard, and his wife was like probably 8-9 months pregnant with Talia.
Mm-hmm.
And we went in the backyard, man, and it was me,
ex-wife now. He's got a new lady.
me, Marcus, Mike Davis, and this other dude. I don't remember the other dude's name. But we all went in the backyard, man, and I could tell right away because we were just sparring, just tapping each other a little bit.
His name was Matthew, by the way.
Oh, Matthew.
Shout outs, Matt.
With his Ninja Turtle shoes. Remember those? Where his toes? Yeah, he had some funny shoes. And this dude would always try to go hard no matter what.
Yeah.
Even if Ray told you not to go hard.
Just soft hit split. A bow. You're like, yeah, I remember that.
But anyways, I'm always super skeptical, so I was like, I don't know, man. And we went to the backyard, and Ray caught me right on the chin. And I might get some flack for this, but I feel like I have a pretty hard chin. I'm kind of a cinder block head full of concrete, you know. And Ray caught me on the chin, and he rung my bell a little bit, and I was like, wow, this guy is for real. This guy, and I tell you what, man. This guy has invested his whole life into mixed martial arts, and he is a true master of Muay Thai, and that comes from man. Now I'm drawing a blank. This is horrible.
Master Chai.
There you go. That's what I was looking for. That comes straight from Master Chai, and for those of you guys that don't know, Master Chai was the founder of the Thai Boxing Association of the USA. He brought Muay Thai to America in 1968.
If you are doing Muay Thai and you do not know who Master Chai is, that's like rapping and not knowing who Grandmaster Flash is.
Who's Grandmaster Flash? What the jump boogie diggy bang bang.
If you don't know who
beat.
Cool Herc is, you better get on it. It's just stuff that you should know, you know. So that's all we're trying to give you some history. Master Chai was, you know, one of them. He's one of them guys.
I don't know how old
There was somebody else too that also brought. So I think he might have brought Muay Thai more to the East Coast. There was somebody else.
I'm not familiar, but Danny Asanto, he was a former student of Bruce Lee, and he was a black belt in Jeet Kune Do, and he ended up becoming one of Master Chai's students. And man, he these guys at 70 years old, these dudes would have whooped a 30-year-old me because they were still that bad. We had I was fortunate enough to go to a seminar over in Salt Lake City, and Master Chai was there, and we got to eat lunch with him, and I was like a puppy, bro. I was like trying to do so good because he was telling everybody, if you stick with it, you're gonna be really good one day. And I wanted him to tell me that. I'm not gonna lie, like I just was like so hungry and so eager to do good. And it was a 2-day seminar, and he didn't give it to me, not until the very end. He told my ex-wife, actually, you got to keep an eye on this one. He's a wild boy. She said, keep him under the lock. This is a wild boy right here. She said, keep your close thumb on him. And yeah, so but yeah, but what a true blessing to be able to learn from Ajarn Ray. Yeah. He kind of took me under my wing when I was I was just getting out of prison and stuff like that, and it gave me something to look forward to, something to strive for. I didn't have a license or nothing, you know, when they come home.
Yeah.
And I'm coming up on 15 years of sobriety, so that's pretty cool.
Congratulations, man.
Yeah, yes. I don't really usually like to I don't really care to talk about it because it's something, it just seems like a different life. You remember?
Yeah. I know somebody told me one day they were talking about their addiction. And I was sitting here and, you know, I had been clean at that time for about like 9 years. And then they were talking about their addiction. And I was like sitting here, the way they were talking about it, I'm like, dang, like maybe they had just got clean a year ago, and then they tell me they had 13 years clean. I was like, what? Why are you still talking about it? But, you know, some people, I guess, talking about it helps them. And some people like us, we just kind of be like we're past that, you know what I mean? I don't even have to sit in no AA or no NA, you know, I don't do that, you know. In all respect to people who do that, my dad has been an AA, NA sponsor for many years. I'm talking about, I think he might even be going on like 40 years of being sober. So I mean, I respect it. I do respect it, and I see what, you know, sponsors do for people and helping them out and stuff like that. And I got my homegirl Nikki. She's one of the ladies. Lisa, you guys all know. So shout out to all y'all.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's journey is different, you know. It just because one thing works for you doesn't mean it's going to work for the next person. You just got to kind of figure out what it is that's going to work for you. I remember years ago you were telling me about, sorry, I'm a little distracted. Years ago you were telling me, you know, I had watched a movie, The Secret, and it's all about laws of attraction. And then you were telling me, you know, there's no reason why you can't have a big screen TV and a job and have all their friends over for the fights and just hang out and stuff like that. And that kind of stuck with me when I was going through my sobriety and I was staying with my mom still.
You're in front of the camera.
Yeah. Paisley was just asking if she could go jump on the trampoline.
Yeah, you know, you're right. And I mean, and if you look around, what we were talking about this is a prime example of it. These are actually all, you know, it's funny that I read that book and it took me, you know, I was going through a spiritual journey and it led me around, and man, they're all biblical, you know, spiritual laws. You know, they're all in the Bible, and I searched around for so many different things, and now I just realized, you know what I'm saying, life and death is in the power of the tongue. And what life and death can mean is, like, you know, speaking good things into your life, or you speaking negativity in your life. You know, I had a buddy, he was a young, kind of healthy dude, and all he wanted to talk about was like, man, my life's so hard. And I'm looking at him and I was like, bro, your life's not that bad. Man, my life's so hard, man. My family's on drugs, man. You know what I'm saying? I have to live the thug life, man. And then I watched his life, instead of going up, I watched his life get worse. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he started looking unhealthy, smoked out, eyeballs messed up, and I used to just think, like,
was he a fiend?
No, he was just a young dude. You know, he got in a little bit of trouble here and there. But he just kept talking. He kept talking that negative in his life. And I just figured, you know, especially, like, you know, with the people that I've saw, those who speak positive things and good things, and they bring that type of stuff in their life, you know. And I used to listen to, you know, and I listen to all types of people, from motivational speakers. Are you still there? Am I still on? Motivational speakers to pimps. And I was thinking about when I listened to this, I think he's changed his life, but he definitely was a pimp, and his name was Gorgeous Dre. He used to say, if you dress like $1 million, you're more able to attract $1 million. And so I just always attract. Like, how are you attracting something? And then as I kind of thought about those things, how to attract better things or more in my life, it started just taking me down this road of wanting better. You know what I mean? Like, I know you, Mike, and you know me, and I think we both don't care to, like, really, like, you know, brag about our past. But, you know, if we were to talk about our stuff, like really write a book, we might have some people in tears about, you know, some street shit. I mean, really being at a low. And it's like how we find each other, where we found each other, and how we've grown.
Yeah, we met each other actually in county jail. I had I had heard a lot about Marcus. I had heard a lot about him, and so I was on. I didn't pay my fine, so I was sitting in county jail, and I don't know. I think it was about midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. We're all sitting around watching TV, and Marcus came in, and I was like, "Oh, what's up?" I said, "I love black people," and that sounds funny, but to some, but I've always had a love for hip hop since a very early age. I've always been enthralled in the hip hop and sports and all that. So anyways, and it's kind of funny because Marcus and I used to tell Marcus all the time, "I love you," and he would kind of look at me funny, yeah, like I was trying to pickpocket him or something like that. And I used to tell him, "I love you," and then fast forward years later, and he said, when he used to tell me that, it gave me kind of an uneasy feeling, but not coming to look at it, he said, "I know that you love me, and I love you too." And I was like, "Oh," I got all emotional. I was like, "Oh, that was so nice of you."
Well, I'm sure, coming up where you came up and where I came up, shoot, you could grow up with people who don't have no love for you. And in those environments, where it's kind of rough and there's poverty and stuff like that. But I just wanted to kind of get back. Like, I always wanted to attract good things into my life, and listen to motivational speakers, the Tony Robbins. You listen to the Danny, but. The moral of my story is you listen to all these motivational speakers, these Earl Nightingales, and you read these books by Andrew Carnegie and things like that, and because you want more in your life. And as I started to kind of look into these things, I realized a lot of those teachings come from the Bible, and it's crazy, but once I started to grab onto that, and I'm like, man, Lord, why you got to do this to me? Because I didn't really want to get a humble spirit. But then I always thought about it too, like, man, the guy I would have been if I would have just been attracting all this good stuff. I'm not here to kick a brother like P. Diddy while he's down. I'm not. Listen, and what he's done, I don't know. I wasn't there. But what I will say is, the guy that they're trying to explain that he would be, I would have hated to become like a monster, like just so much. I think that I'm so powerful, I can just do whatever I want to whoever I want, whenever I want, and just have this savage idea. And it was like I went through this, and then all of a sudden I get humbled, and I'm like, man, I wanted to come up. I wanted to become Jay-Z. That was always the dream, And it's funny to hear these guys now. And I used to say, I want to be Jay-Z. I wanted to be the Tupac or the Biggie when I was rapping.
It's hard to believe. It's hard to believe that Tupac was only 26 years old, huh? It's hard to believe how much that he accomplished and how he cemented a legacy and how good he was at such an early age. He was just pretty special,
Yeah, no.
He could just Tupac. Say it. You could just say it out loud, bro. It ain't gonna hurt nothing.
No, I was listening to what you're saying, but Tupac, as they say, man, there's a few people in this world. Like, I've been wondering if they jumped through a time machine, and he might have just hopped back in that time machine, and and they say Tupac's dead. No, Tupac's alive. But there's certain people who they're ahead of their time, dude.
He was definitely one of them. He was different, man. He had something really special about him, something that has never been seen since or after. And I wasn't a huge fan of the Tupacalypse and all that. I wasn't a huge fan of that stuff.
I really wasn't either, man. I'm
it wasn't.
unanimous, man.
It wasn't until All Eyes on Me and he got with Death Row. I mean, there was a few tracks, Dear Mama, and
Yeah, that's the same thing you're saying. It was like me when I heard a lot of people who liked them. I was like, I had, that was at Columbia, where you used to buy, get the CDs that come home.
Yeah, and you pay like $1 and you get 25 CDs. I remember.
So I was getting like everything, and
I had aliases. I remember that. I had aliases. I was like John Doe. Sign up for. They're like John Doe has the same taste in rap music as Mike Shillito.
Don't be trying to get your money. Don't be trying to get your money.
I wonder how they even profited from that. I don't. They just all went to collections because we did that a grip of times.
I'm guessing, man. But I did get. I got that. One of the Tupac's albums. What was it?
All Against Me Against the World, or
yeah,
All Eyes on Me, Tupacalypse. Me against
Tupacalypse.
It's probably Me Against the World.
What's the one? Maybe it was Tupacalypse. The one with Brenda's got a baby on it.
Yeah, that song was dope. And Dear Mama.
And I had these albums, and I remember, like listening to it, and it was dope. But I was more into like the hardcore, like gang, Ice Cube,
Oh yeah,
Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Eazy-E at that time.
Oh yeah,
that was like, my everything when it came to like rap. I mean, of course I had my dudes that were like on the East Coast that I'd be watching Rap City.
Tribe Called
those
Quest.
songs. Yeah, I love Tribe Called Quest. Those dudes. And yeah, I did like Hieroglyphics, but I just didn't really. I guess maybe I just didn't really like catch on to Tupac at that time.
Were you a big?
But when he did Dear Mama, I just, there was no denying him. It was like I couldn't deny that he was yanking at people's hearts right there with that Dear Mama song.
Yeah, no, he had a few bangers sprinkled in through those first couple albums. I Get Around, that was a track right there, boy.
Round.
Shock G.
Shock G, man. R.I.P. Rest in peace, Shock G.
The one that put the satin on your panties.
That's right.
Yeah, Shock G was a man. I love Digital Underground. Digital Underground. I just something about it, man, and it was like a funk club.
Dude, I had that tape, Sex Packets, and that was a really dope album, man.
Yeah, the whole album was good.
That album was dope.
I
love
like
that.
you.
Kiss me and I kiss you back.
Kiss me and
yeah, that was. If you kiss me there, I'll kiss you there. They was dope. They was cold. And it's sad, man. Like, I really wish that some of these dudes were around right now. And a lot of them are just gone, man. Tupac, Shock G. So many artists that. Biggie, just these dope artists, man, that should be here right now. Legends, man. That you guys don't even know. Some of you kids, y'all don't even know these legends, man. Y'all don't even know who they are.
Rap has changed quite a bit. They got the mumble rap and all that. That's why, like, Mexican OT, that little freestyle on Sway, man. Oh my God, I was like, who is this guy?
He's dope.
Oh gosh, and then I listened to him on Joe Rogan, and Mexican OT is a savage.
I mean, watch out for Texas right now, man. Texas is doing it. If you guys is listening to rap right now, and you guys real big fans of rap, sometimes you'll watch where hip hop goes, like. Common talked about it. Hip hop will travel. It actually travels, and right now, Texas got some heat. By Big X, the plug.
Yeah, that was the one you told me about. Texas, that song. Yeah. Oh boy, some people. I don't know. I played it for a couple people, and they're like, and I'm like, you don't like this? Is like music to my ears.
You know what, man, and that's what I was talking to Gabriel about. Is the sad thing is a lot of dope artists, because they don't have like a name, or they're, what I'm saying, blah blah blah. They're not, it'll go over people's heads until like the radio station starts just, bam, Flex dropped a bomb on it, and it's on the radio station over and over. If you're not really there, people will just let that go right over their head. But you know what I'm saying. please go check out Big X the Plug. I'm telling you, that dude's ripping right now.
Yeah, it's funny because what happened was is Marcus was actually in Dallas. We're in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
So I had seen a little TikTok of Paul Wall, and Paul Wall was doing a verse on Done Swing song put out there, and I sent it to him, and he was like, yeah, this is pretty cool. He's like, but listen to this one. And I listened to that whole song, and it's pretty dope. I guess it's basically like Texas United because it's got people from Houston, Dallas, all over Texas, and they're talking about traveling through Texas. So I listened to that, and Paul Wall's verse is pretty tight. It's the very last one of the whole song. And then he says, but you need to listen to this. This is what they're listening to in Texas. And then I put that...
And Paul Wall, you the man, because you are the man, Paul Wall.
He seems like a real humble guy. Seems like he's just happy to be there.
Some of that stuff, new music I've been hearing him do with terminology right now, it's dope, dude. You're doing stuff, Paul Wall. And those who are sleeping on Paul Wall, and you from Texas, don't sleep on Paul Wall.
So then he shoots me the song Texas, and I was like, wow, this is really good. So I don't listen to too much new rap, but then you got Mexican OT, and then you got Paul Wall come out with a new album, and then you got what's his name? I don't want to mess it up. The Texas.
Oh, you're talking about Big X the Plug.
Big X the Plug, yeah. And I listen to a few of his songs, man, and he's really, I like him. I like him quite a bit. Man. So it's just like, it seems like Texas is their time right now.
Let me how you whip it.
What about we're talking about all these new albums? Snoop Dogg just came out with the new album Missionary.
Yeah, we were talking about Missionary, man.
I think I have to listen to it a couple more times. I think
we should both listen to it, and we'll come back and we'll talk about that. You know what I mean?
Because I heard a little bit of it, and I listened to it front to back, and there was a couple songs.
I think we should just both of us, because you know what I mean. Like, I was trying to kind of, I don't want to always be like, yo, Snoop Dogg. I love Snoop Dogg, and I don't want to be like, oh, it's the best just because it's Snoop Dogg. You know what I mean? I really want to listen to your art, Snoop. And as a matter of fact, while we're on that, Snoop, we got to get you on the show. You know what I mean? So, hit us up, man. You know what I mean? Open circuit, man.
Big Uncle Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love Snoop. He's a legend from our time and all the stuff that we listen to. But he's just a pop culture icon now. He's that guy. He is you guys know he bought Death Row.
He's still pretty gangster.
Yeah.
I was watching a thing where they were talking about he went to I don't know if it was Denmark or somewhere, and it was like a Adidas interview and stuff like that, and he came up in there and he chilled back, and the guy started asking me, he says, Snoop, how come you were 5 hours late? He was, man, shut the he was like, and be happy that I'm here. He was like, well, I was just wondering because it was 5 hours. He's like, man, I was late because I was getting some chicken wings, and then I had to go visit my homegirl at the convalescent home. It's like, Snoop.
Yeah, he's a
character.
Yeah, he's a character. Master P actually dug him out of a hole from Suge Knight. He's the one that put him on, paid all his debt, got him. Yeah, Master P was revolutionary for the rap game as far as how he did business.
Yes, he was. He changed the game. He made it. I mean, I'm not saying he was the first. He was not the first independent record company. I'm not sure if it was E40 or if it was... but the moral of the story is he made it where it was kind of a cool thing, a known thing, to start going independent as a record label.
Yeah, didn't he pay like $25,000 to have an hour sit down with Michael Jackson's lawyer? Something like that.
Sure, I don't know. I'll have to,
And then that's how he got the... foundation for what he did. I'm pretty sure I think he paid some astronomical amount of money. Don't quote me if it was, I know it was at least $25,000, and then that gave him the
Well,
That gave him what he needed as far as what he needed to do in order to make his own thing, to where nobody else could just steal his money like Suge Knight did with Dre and all them. You know.
yeah, no, I mean, there's a lot to that.
Easy E and
Oh, by the way, Master P, we need to get you on the show, man.
I don't think Jerry Keller. Yeah, they robbed them boys in NWA. Easy E was getting all the money.
You're talking about what was that dude, the actor who played him in the movie, man? I like that dude.
Oh, and who played Easy E?
No, the one who played Jerry Heller.
I don't know. I can't remember. It's been a while since I've seen it, man. I have a real bad habit of watching one.
I'm gonna find out your name, man, because I need to get you on the show.
I have a real bad habit of watching something one time and then never picking it up again. I don't usually watch stuff several times.
Me either, man. I'm not into that. You know, like when I was a kid, maybe I watched Aladdin or something over and over and stuff like that. But nah, man. As I got older, no, I don't watch a bunch of movies over and over. I watch it and it's done. Go to the next one.
I watched Revenge of the Nerds a lot as a kid because I liked Betty a lot. I was like, wow.
I like that movie too, man. It would play on HBO a lot, so I did see that. Well, man.
What do you think?
I think we did good today. You know, this is the podcast Open Circuit. You know, please like and subscribe. All that type of stuff, man. Leave something in the comments for us and stuff. Maybe you guys got things that you want to talk about that we can start talking about on the show. So this is how we start. You know, this is the first episode, and
January 1st, 2025.
Yeah, we starting off the year right.
We're gonna. This is kind of just a rough draft. We're gonna get some furniture and stuff, and get a. We're gonna have a couple different locations where we're gonna shoot them from, but we're in the works of getting my little den area set up to where we could just do it from there. But this is just a rough draft, and we wanted to get started and do it. So it's
always good to come from the mud. That's what we want you to see.
Yeah, I mean, this is just a little investment. It wasn't too much money, but we're just trying to get the ball rolling and just conversate. Marcus and I go way back, and we usually have a ton of conversations, pretty deep conversations amongst us, and then we wanted to just share it with everyone and see what you guys think.
Yep. He ain't lying, man. We go back like Danny Glover's hairline. Yeah.
I haven't seen him for a while. Is that pretty far?
It was far back in the day, so I imagine he just got the side like Homer Simpson now, you know?
Yeah, shout out to Arizona State for trying to come back, man. They showed some fight. They didn't just lay down.
Oh, let's just say right now Oregon's playing, and one day we were at we were in Reno, and Oregon was playing, and something was going on, and all these Oregon fans are over here like, and then Mike said, quack, 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 quack.
I don't remember that.
All the Oregon fans gonna be pissed. My sister Regina, she's an Oregon fan.
My brother Casey, he's a big Oregon fan. He lived in Eugene for a long time.
Yep, my sister, she still lives out there. So, yeah, well, we're gonna watch this Oregon versus Ohio State game. Ohio State up right now, 7-0. So, we're gonna leave you guys right now, and you guys have a good day. Stay tuned for what we got going on Open Circuit. I'm Kalipso.
I'm Mike Shillito, and we're out.